So what I felt before we did this thing last time, this,
So yeah, we've done anchoring.
oh my
So
God,
anchoring.
what if I don't sign somebody into the into my group on the first month? That was my thoughts. Like, I need to act right now. What if I don't sign them? What if I don't sign them? And then we did that, like the whole thing. And then I started to immediately after we finished, I started to anticipate the next sale, but not thinking about how I'm not gonna have people in the first month, if you know what I mean. It's like I I don't care if I'm gonna have people in the first month. Now I'm gonna, I told you so. I'm gonna play with it. And you reminded me of all of my sales experience and that spirit that I have in me that is like, fuck you, of course I'm gonna create miracles because I am so good at it. And you reminded me that that is in me. There's nothing to seek outside, and that is just like waiting to come out so often right now. So I see myself daily whenever I think about Instagram right now, even if nothing is happening, even if my marketing is shit, I still see myself like this. I told you so. And I usually in those moments also think about how somebody will come in inbox and maybe talk to me like about something, and I'm just gonna close them. I told you so. And again, before I really was just insecure to the
Even
point
though
where I
even though
forgot
you
my
over
gym.
deliver, even though you know you can give them incredible value and you know you can coach them from where they are to their outcomes as a dating coach. If someone's watching this, it's this is your personal like power move that
Yes, my
we
personal power
we
move.
used our neurolinguistic programming and humanistic neurolinguistic psychology, basically anchoring all your positive experiences, which are real life. Like we're not making stuff up. Like you are excellent in what you do. You've created incredible outcomes. However, there was some sort of insecurity blocks in the way. And what I love about you is you're doing incredible work and you're real and honest with yourself when stuff is in the way. And I have the same. Anytime I expand, anytime I want to do something new, I feel it's in my gut, my chest, my throat, like some sort of resistance, some sort of block, some sort of whatever story or limiting belief is. And so we want to acknowledge it. We also transformed those parts before. And it was time to like, okay, you want to have an empowered energy when you are working with people, invite them into your workshop. They invest in themselves. They receive a fantastic return on their investment because you shorten people's time frame from years to a few months or to 1 year, which it's you can't replace the experience support that you'll get, the structure. It's incredible. So I love it. And congratulations. And a few days later, you had a close without even
Yeah,
selling.
yeah.
You
Like 2 days later, I didn't close her in a way that I spoke to her, but the whole energy of this experience just let me really release those energetical things that were holding me into that. Because when I'm in that state where I was, I'm not showing up as this confident version in front. I'm showing up more and just like, I knew this is not going to work, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm just going to keep on trying. And right now, I'm in just like, you have to be crazy not to start. It's a different energy. And even if I show up in a live and talk about a different subject or talk to client about weather, not even my program, I show up physically different. And that's what I'm noticing. And that was so difficult for me to achieve before we have this. And right now, I'm just anticipating, I wanted to say sex. Success, success.
Freudian slip. Well, that too is important and beautiful. And that's the energy of anticipation.
Yeah, of success.
But it's also you feel different when you are in that energy. You show up different. It doesn't when we don't have the blocks. It doesn't block our frontal cortex, and
Yeah.
so it's your creativity can flow. You're a stronger even channel for like some great stuff coming up. Almost like the inventors like Einstein and Tesla. They received inspiration when they were in a resourceful state, right? And so that's how books are written. So we're tapping into that infinite intelligence, but also honoring the current the current human body, the experience, our past, and what I know and also believe, with all the work that I'm doing, every resistance, everything that's coming up, every insecurity, deep, deep, deep down has a positive intention, which means it probably wants to be safe. It wants to protect us. It doesn't want us to be hurt. It doesn't want to, piss people off. And so again, we address that. And so, yeah, I love that. I love that. I use that in sporting competitions where I used to make mistakes in the first competition because I was so afraid. Too late, I'm like, well, might as well use the techniques that I know. And so I've done the move, the internal strategy. The next competition, I started winning gold. Like it was a huge difference. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you for being an example because I remember you from that time because we met in Split. I mean, you're such an irreplaceable mentor that I just cannot not work with you right now on my blockages. You're just, I don't know anybody better in what you do in this world right now, literally. So So I just remember you from that time, and you had this special confidence and funnel vision, and with actions, you were so disciplined in training, but at the same time, you really came back and you would win, 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 win. And you also back then, I remember that you were doing the same thing, and that you had some sports people you work with, and they also improved their results. And I just find this work magical. And what I like about this work is that it's instant. It's not like therapy, 5 sessions, and then something changes after 6 times. It's like instant. And very often I tell you, like, I don't even remember what we did last week. By the way, I remember this last week because it was just so good.
Please, with you,
How can
yes.
I forget that? But usually when we work on some other things, I don't even know. So then you remind me, and I'm just like, oh, I don't even have that problem anymore. It's like I'm a programmer. It's like you erase the lines that are creating bugs, and then the lines don't exist and the application works perfectly. So I don't even remember the bug from the last week. It's not like there is an evidence of a bug.
Yeah, because the change happens in the subconscious, unconscious mind. That's where also our blocks live. We're like, I don't know why I'm not doing there. So when it happens, and again, like, and continuing to do the work, I feel it's a lifestyle. Once we know too much not to do the work, right? So I call it daily, just like your soul hygiene, your mental hygiene. You meditate every day. I meditate every day. We use those tools, and so we strengthen. We have support systems, right? It's holistic.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Oh my God, I love you. Ah, this is so good. I told you so.
Thank you.
Ah,
So your power move is this. I told you so, and you have just a cascade of positive memories.
yes.
I've got two power moves. One is that's when I when I win gold medals and I can really see myself after doing something really difficult. And I got another one which is just place my hands in front of my heart and saying thank you, which it's a different move, a different anchor where I placed all the memories where I felt grounded, peaceful, inspired, even like guided. When something is like when you experience a blessing and or synchronicity that is just out of this world, I would add it to that. So I like the combination as well, which also you have in your sales. We added the infinite intelligence element to it as well, which brought in even compassion.
Wow, I love that. By the way, when do you use this one?
I often use them both. And so when I feel sometimes stressed or uneasy or overwhelmed, I would do this and I would say thank you. And I see an image of a beautiful park in Perth, where I used to live. That's where I did one of my education as a humanistic neurolinguistic psychology master practitioner. And that was just beautiful. And so we choose one image as a visual anchor. We hear a sound or say a sound, and we have that move. So it's like the Pavlovian dogs in like in a positive way. We condition ourselves so that our body and our subconscious mind can bring us the resourceful energy. So it's one of the tools. It's one of the
I
tools.
think we could do that today. You know why? Because I believe that this could influence when you have a difficult client. And I always say that when I do, I become stressed and then I became dumb. And I'm always laughing with my partner, Allah, like when we are stressed, we are dumb, we are stupid, don't make any decisions, don't make any moves. And imagine anchoring back into this move so I can access the resources. That would be so valuable.
Yeah. Yes, when you're highly stressed, then your amygdala fires up. It's we want to fight, flight, freeze, fawn, like that combination. And our frontal cortex doesn't work that way. And so as humans, we kind of later you have the realization, oh, I could have said this, I could have done this.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can do that. Let's do it now.
Yeah.
So now we're going to do, we've done the power move. I told you so.
Can't wait.
Now I want to take you through a grounded, like a different energy state, resourceful. So we're going to use different memories that you want to tap into. So tell me.
I need that one.
So, and both will be very, very beneficial. So I'm really looking forward to it. So tell me, what is something, who do you want to be? What do you want to feel? Like you gave me a really good example, like when you have like difficult people you work with, and you know, it's almost like your brain doesn't work. Like you said, like you become stupid.
I become so stressed that I just don't know what to do. And then usually I don't do anything until I calm down, which is smart. But there, in that window of time, the stress arises again sometimes when I think about the situation, and which puts me again in a dumb state, puts me again in a flight state. So have to postpone for a few days sometimes to acting on some situations, which then at the end take my resources, ask people around me, which would be beneficial if I can size down that if I can just
The time frame.
reduce that window. It doesn't have to be 5 days. Um,
Even if
to
it's 24 hours, that is reasonable, like in the even in the business world, you know.
and it's better for people
You,
because then they play less with you because they see that you can act with from a forceful state, and then they also regulate.
that's right. Yeah, it's called also even in psychology and when we're looking at our nerve, it's a co-regulation that your central nervous system influences somebody else, and somebody else can influence you. And so how to become the positive dominant being or energy that will influence others as well. And I mean, in sales and business, called like holding the frame. The person that holds the frame is the one that leads. So
Yeah.
we can call it your peace move. Your how would you call it? Uh, like you can give it a name if you want, but just and also play
It
with the
could be a
movement.
peace move, like not regulation, but like we could
Yeah,
be, let's call it a peace move or something like that.
yeah. I call it my peaceful, my grounded move, and I've added moments when you know when you receive something or an invitation where it's just like it's such a gift, like you didn't earn it. It was just somebody did something for you where you just feel like your heart just was.
I think I
Um,
know what is going to be my move. When I used to do Joe Dispenza meditations when I was recovering from bipolar depression, the meditations for changing one and two beliefs would end put the left hand on your heart and just feel the gratitude for things already happening. So I don't know if that is, I usually felt so much because it was already after 45 minutes of meditation. I would feel so grounded and so peaceful remembering the future. So maybe that could be a good move for this. Do you think that that could be a good move, like literally like this and
yeah,
just, and I think it already anchored a little bit of that state, so we can anchor on top of it. What do you think?
100%,
It's
100%.
left hand. That
Yeah,
was what Joe Dispenza said. Put the left hand on your heart,
yeah.
and now whatever he was.
Yeah, I remember, yeah, in many of his meditations at the end, it's like, no, put your left hand on your heart. And then he's like
Yeah.
positive. So that is an anchor as
Wow.
well.
Yeah.
So absolutely, let's have used that. And I even saw you kind of like nodding a little bit. That can be also part of the move.
Yeah. I love that. Yes, we can note that
Right.
too.
Um, what word, again, and we're going to use that one of the specific meditation memories as like for that. So
I
when
love that.
when you think of 2, 3 meditation experiences you had at the end where you just felt like
I have a few moments that were meditate. You know, like how Joe Dispenza talks about love attacks. So when you do the work regularly, you can get a love attack on the street. You just walk and you just feel so grateful because you remember that you were imagining this scene and there was no way it's going to happen. It's like a quantum shift into a completely different reality in time, and you are now there, and your work, your synchronicities work them where too. So I have one memory. The main memory that comes right now to me is like the magical way of how Paris happened for me. When I was working with you on sexual trauma, that time on when you gave me 10 sessions and I was much better. That was the same summer and it was inside of that manifestation. You were part of actually synchronicities. So I wanted to go to Herbalife Extravaganza in Paris. I had no job, no money, and the qualification was 5,000 volume points, which means 5,000 volume points of shakes. And since I was very much um, from antidepressants, medical things bad. I wanted to eat all of those shakes. I didn't want to sell them to anybody else. I wanted to buy that, go to Paris and eat all of those shakes in the next 1 year so I can heal. Like I can cleanse my body because it was so, like I had low energy. I was drinking medication for antidepressants, which lowered my heart. It was just bad. And I had a bad job. I was working in like reading polls, and then I was working in fast food. And then I would for 6 months I would imagine that I'm in that plane flying to Paris, and I don't even know how I went there because I was literally out of the resources to even go. And that Paris happened. It's on my Facebook, the the
Oh,
the
that's the
picture in
image.
like this in Versailles. Do you know?
Yes.
You saw that. And that's why I still keep it on my Facebook. It's like a reminder that I'm flying blind. I don't even know how I'm flying and being there. I literally was in Paris and I couldn't believe I was there. That's how I felt all 7 days. It felt like, yes, I know I created it, but I cried even in the plane because I felt like, how is this even happening? Because it happened in last minute and everything together came. And that summer I was also paying you from that extra work that came in where I was in sales, working only 4 hours a day and closing like crazy. So that is when often I would get a love attack. First, I would get a love attack for that job. I would go walk to that job where I was selling, and it was only 4 hours a day. And it was with the same fast food, with the same bosses for an inside restaurant that was so fucking hard to fill. So they needed a good salesperson. And I would often go to that work really well dressed, and I would just have a hand on my heart, and it would just feel unreal because it's just, I was for 3 years then depressed. Everybody left me. I had no friends. Maybe one was left. And it was really bad. My life was not on a beautiful place. Yet I was there working something I'm genius at, really creating results. And then often I would look at the sky and see the plane landing in the in the airport in Split. And I would again get a love attack, and I would put the hand on my heart, and I would imagine that I am flying with that plane in Paris. And I know there is no chance that could happen because I didn't have for a ticket. I was returning from a bad, bad, bad job that was paying me 3 hours, 3 euros per hour. Um, and I would also see the future. I would see myself in the future very often traveling with the plane and being very successful. Probably that was my way of running from my bad reality. And that happened.
Which is
If
actually
you think now,
better to run away from the reality by imagining beautiful things
yeah.
than when you're in depression, run away by imagining worse things.
Yeah,
So
but all
very, very wise.
all the things I imagined then happened today. My mom sent me the letter from UNICEF. I was writing as my future self. Literally like this. You don't see yourself right now, but I'm telling you from the future. You are great. You are inspiring people. You are working internationally. It was insane. It's all in Croatian. And in 2016, I wrote myself a love letter. And then my mom said, like, I should start writing myself love letters. It's funny anyway.
You
So
inspired
that's,
her. You
yeah.
inspired. Yeah.
She has the letter, so she's just preserving it. So yeah, that's something that was my favorite manifestation ever because it felt so unreal. Like never later I've created magical things, but they didn't feel so unreal, like that one really happened and I was like, I'm still depressed, still recovering, yet I was in Paris. I had 5,000 volume points. I had extra money in my bank account, and I earned around 5 or 6K in the 3 last months. So it was last minute thing.
Incredible, incredible. Yeah, you're living proof, and now you're inspiring people. You have your dating coaching program in 2 languages, international. You help women actually get wonderful results, but it's again like the inner work that is lasting for life. So that
And reminding them that they are conscious creators of their lives.
yeah,
They think right now that that man is the only thing that want, but they can also create the life that they want with
yeah,
the talents that they want. That is even bigger love story of your life, and then a man also. Ah, beautiful, beautiful.
yeah. It is what an incredible story. And that image that's on your social media, like a profile photo, we can use that as the image representation of that journey of
Huh,
that
I love that
particular.
because it's a little bit inconvenient to go like this, and this is more anchored
Yeah.
because
So
I did many other things of manifestation. this is one that is my favorite, but I did so many other things where this was the ending of. I also healed. Like I remember a memory when I was really bad depressed, and I would imagine that I'm walking through my hometown Split with one hand in my pocket, and I'm fully healthy, and people are again saying hi to me with respect because people were avoiding me on the street. As I would pass, they would literally avoid me because I would be boring with my story of how I'm feeling bad because I was looking for solutions so bad. I was 8 hours a day in library, and I understood that they are avoiding me. And I didn't even see a reality in which I will be back to being good because I was completely shackled, completely like I didn't even recognize myself. And in 2 years, that happened. I was really walking in my hometown, Split, with the hand in my pocket, looking high into the sky and just feeling nothing in my brain because I would just have suicidal thoughts. So that's also anchored to that move. So there's a lot of actually memories of peace and infinite solutions. And I like that we can anchor that infinite unlimited. I would like to call this move unlimited, actually, because that's peace. I have unlimited resources.
limited move.
Ah, this is so inspiring. I can't wait to use this move.
And
I
also
love
just reawaken it consciously and then and use it. So tell me, when you think about the first one, the second one, we're gonna add at least two more. Um,
huh.
think of another time where you felt grounded and peaceful, specifically in business. So think of a time where you might have had a challenging conversation, a challenging client, somebody that challenged you, someone when you kind of like had something, but and then you responded in a way that you're satisfied with.
Hmm. I'm trying to remember a memory that feels good because I had a lot of these kind of situations, but they kind of left me a bad taste. I won at the end over on a very smart way over the very difficult client, but it still felt a bad taste in my mouth because the client never changed. So I just calmed them down because they were trying to reduce my authority in front of a whole group. Um, Especially when we started the Croatian advanced community. There was one lady that was she's a therapist and psychotherapist. She was constantly coaching people in the group. And then when
It's actually okay if you're a coach and you're part of a coaching program as a client, don't do that.
it's
It's
very disrespectful and very
well,
ugly.
that's
And it didn't
also
have results, of course.
yes, and that's it. Like you join a program because you want to do your best to be a open mind and be the student. Choose to be a beginner, even if you have 20 years of experience, but it's not okay. And when I'm part of a coaching program,
You're so
I
respectful.
I
You're,
listen to other
why is this
people.
person there and the best
But
coach? You're so respectful and you are by far the best coach, even better coach than me. And you are
I don't
not doing
I don't say anything. I could say like, oh, this person can do this. Oh, this person needs to do the power move or the peaceful. Like, no, like I trust you as the coach in your dating program because I'm doing your dating program. Because when you started, I'm like, oh, I want to learn from you because
I'm so
I'm
I
so
can't
open
believe it's still
to
waking up and I'm like, oh,
that. That's it's such an honor, and it's to see you, to support you, to be supported. Um, because that's one of the area of my life where I feel like I'm ready for love now, and I want to do it right, and I want to be supported. For women, it's important to have support systems, not to go back into, because again, a coach can be the loving eyes from the side. They can tell you like, okay, do this, do this. Oh, this is maybe not respectful towards you, or like this is good. So, but I do want to use
But I,
hear
at the
you
end, won on a very smart way
that
inside of the group. So
that's what
the
I
change
want.
was
That's
this.
so don't focus on the thing. I want you to focus on the feeling of like I actually won. Not that it
Yeah,
was a
she gave up
battle,
after that. She
but
stopped. She
yeah,
didn't, I clapped her so well, but without really clapping her in a bad way. I don't even know how I did it. Everybody was impressed in the group that she never ever tried in that group again something similar. So that's what that actually gives me a good memory. And the hard thing was she was very well respected by other members in the group because we were new. So they were trusting her. I was not at this level of where I have so much testimonials and I'm so confident. I was a beginner. I was just trying to teach other women what I did, and what I did is not so simple. I mean, it's,
you had 250 dates, and
yeah.
then you had coaches later. Like you have a huge database of experience and things that work.
Yeah, but what I did is not easy because I was going immediately for my husband. And that meant that those 250 days were cleansing process of me removing everything else that is not. That was like a healing process. And a lot of triggers, and plus you don't have a man while you're going through the triggers. Not a journey for everybody, yeah. But I managed to teach that to women because women want to just get a boyfriend, get somebody to be with. And that's a trap because what if that guy is not a forever guy? Then it's better to pass him in the next 1 or 2 months. And that's difficult because you're constantly dating. You look like a lunatic. Everybody else has boyfriends and in relationships, and you're the only one who has nobody and is still dating. You look like a crazy person. But I, at the end, I'm the most successful person of all of them, and I surpassed them just because it was like a complete postponed gratification. So
Yes,
I fully deserve what I have, but it's not easy. So I didn't know will I be able to teach women this because who will want to do such a difficult thing? It's worth it, but it's difficult. Yeah, I know.
do it the
But
right
back
way.
then,
Yeah.
yeah, now we have 500 students who are doing the same thing and they are admiring us and they are coming back. But anyways, I didn't know. So when she came in and she started to be smart, everybody was also skeptical about what I'm teaching because 250 dates, how did you do that? Were you unethical? Were you sleeping around? A lot of questions for students, even good students. And now she comes there and she's questioning everything that I'm doing. Reasonably questioning, okay, no problem. I get it. And I was even receptive to it. But at one point, she started to talk down on me and talk down on us. And that was her third attack. She did it before. So somehow I calmed her down by apologizing. I don't even know why, but I somehow turned this whole situation in the direction of like some kind of weird solution that worked. I don't know. I don't know what I did. Even when I up to date, I read these messages, like clients still in that first group, like
That
that's
was
the only thing they
probably
remember.
that was a bit less than a year ago, wasn't it?
2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. So it was
So
not that, yeah.
I would like you to connect with the feeling of what you said, like I won at the end. Again, like I said, like, it's not like it was a competition, even though we both competed in Olympic weightlifting. So not that it's, but again, like, it's the winning
The good
feeling.
memory is that every student from that group
Yeah,
remembers that part and still is like, Maria, how did you do that? Like,
that's
because
what I
you
want to.
shut her
That's what I want
down.
to.
She
Okay.
is so difficult to shut down. And I did it so compassionately yet straightforward. And she, after that, she wrote nothing back to me. And she is the one who always comes back with more drama. So it was like unbelievable. How did she shut up?
Yeah, that's it. And you did it in front respectfully,
Yes,
strategically.
yes.
Even you said, like, I don't know how I did it. But again, like
It was
that
like a zone of genius. Something happened there.
unconscious competence zone of genius. We can tap into that in a later session, so we remember that.
And
And
after that, one other win was everybody flipped and they said, we finally see her real face. Because what you did there, how did you even get to that? First argument, she was right, partially, but she was wrong. Then I responded. Then she responded back with more drama. Then I responded back after a while with calmness. And like certainty, because I was trying to put us back on the same road. And then she responded with attack again, but a very strategic attack. And then I closed her. Like it was after that, she couldn't say anything else.
Good. Yeah. How did it feel for you?
In in the moment, scary, but afterwards, I was like, what happened here? I cannot even analyze because it's like some kind of higher brain
Yeah, give me the
came
feeling.
in.
Was it like a sense of like, um, was it a sense of groundedness? Was it a sense of feeling wise?
Not like a big win. It's like it's like it's almost like that moment I spoke about in the plane. It's like I obviously did something genius here, but it's like it doesn't come just from me. It comes from higher brain. Because how would I be able to handle her? I hit her in the right spots on a very respectful way, and she had nothing else to do because I fully disclosed her
Got it.
in front of
Yes.
everybody without. And I'm still up to date. I think there was some higher consciousness
Yeah, and
that
that's what she needed and what you needed. It's a co-creation and a very powerful dance, especially when somebody is that complaining and they don't have the results that they desire. It's interesting to
she still
also,
doesn't have results. 2 years, 3 years later,
yeah,
she still doesn't have
unfortunately.
results and still behaving the same way in the group. She's not allowed to come into the group anymore, but she's still behaving the same way and she's a successful woman.
In
But
one area of her life, but not where she actually looked for coaching. Um, and everybody's on the different tempo. And when you have a company, when you there's a it's an art form to kind of how to be respectful, how to take on feedback. Like, that we can always do better, learn better. But if someone is constantly complaining, it's like there's something deeper underneath there. And do you have the results that you want? But okay, so what's important with your unlimited move,
mhm.
that's something the genius that came through, is that feeling, like a feeling of a big win. The other students ask you, Maria, how did you do that? Like you
Mhm.
created something that's something that you want to replicate, right?
Yes, I
Okay,
love that because it was really a reaction from more than 7, 8 students, and there was 13 in that group, excluding her. So that's a
yeah,
huge accomplishment. And I didn't expect them to send me messages like that. How did you do that? Like I
great,
honestly thought she's great, but the way you handled it, how did you do that? Like, and I was like,
great,
okay, I don't even know what I did,
good.
but I'm
Yeah,
happy that she stopped.
that's right. Okay, so that's the third memory. So we have you in. You said it was Versailles. Versailles.
Yes.
We have you walking in split, looking up in the sky, one hand in your pocket, and just living the vision. Your
And
big
it was a
win.
plane also because that was a very powerful memory.
The fourth one is the plane. Okay, yes. Okay.
Yeah, plane. When I was sitting in that plane, I cried at that moment from gratitude, not from sadness. I was crying from complete gratitude. So I was sitting on a plane next to the window. It
Yeah,
was still a split airport. And as the plane started to roll slowly to the takeoff, the tears of gratitude just started flowing down my face for 2, 3 minutes. It was not so short because I was about to fly, and I was very down at that point in my life, and I flew in that moment, and it felt something. It meant like flying above my circumstances. Also, it was like an internal meaning because there was no way I could buy a plane ticket or fly anywhere because I was going nowhere right there then in my life. But there I was about to fly in still such a low state, but I was flying blind. And that was the what actually Versailles represented. It was the moments in the plane that created that move and the memory.
wow. Whew. I'm getting
Hmm.
that, just what you have accomplished and what you came out, um, is deeply, deeply inspiring. And also
Yours is even more because I had a beautiful childhood, but what you accomplished, to me, you feel like you are the person from extremely successful family that were rich, educated. So I admire you actually more because this happened to me from 23 to 27, never in the childhood. And you had the reverse. I just cannot believe you achieved what you achieved with that memory. Because I still had evidence that I'm from a successful family, that I finished college, that I was somebody, had a memory of that. But you had nothing. You created nothing from nothing. Incredible. I'm just admiring you so much.
Yeah. When you sent me a message a few months ago, it's like, Milijana, like with what you went through, you should be the biggest failure.
Yeah.
I actually was a bit like, oh, thanks. Like, is that a compliment?
Yeah, that was not a passive aggressive. It was like literally like, because when I listen to your story, I'm just like, I cannot believe you went through that. Like it was such a bad situation
Yeah.
with mom and dad and countries and the whole their relationship. I just cannot believe you came up to be such an inspiration, and that's why you're such an inspiration, because you literally defied the gravity. That was my compliment to you.
I so
You
appreciate that.
defied the gravity.
If sometimes okay, it's not about, and I really always say it's everybody had challenges in their lives. Some people had slightly bigger challenges, and so I really feel grateful that we work together and we know each other's stories to a deeper level. And so it's good to remember how far we come. You know, like now, you have the results. I feel very grateful in my life and very challenging things that we overcame. So tell
Yeah,
me a bit
but what
about,
I like about you is not that you're just example. You look like somebody who even didn't have that kind of childhood. That's how far you moved. I don't know that somebody who will be listening understands the level of that, because people are in victim stories like, oh, that happened to me. Yeah, I regret that. You don't even have that in you. You're just like, everything served me. It's a completely different vibration.
yeah. And again,
It's
it's an up and down. Like, basically, if someone's watching the recording, it's, I
who can
grew
give
up
you
in a,
excuses after that?
say
No.
again?
Who can give you excuses after that? Like nobody.
Yeah. I mean, from, um, war trauma, we were in the house when they threw grenades in the house. I don't have a conscious memory other than the curtains that stopped the glass that was scattered. If there was no glass, I would have been sliced. We were war refugees, and we were deported back. There was domestic violence, since I can remember. My father almost killed my mom and brutally beat her. So we were very afraid of him. So just the whole dynamic. He was very cruel person.
And plus, your
And
mom is still up to date combating mental illness, which means you almost didn't have a mom. So how did you become who you become? You didn't have a dad. I had everything of
I mean,
that.
I had the basic needs met, right? So they did the right thing. I had food, shelter. They protected us from the war. Like it wasn't all black. Like there's some
Yeah.
really beautiful, beautiful things. But these were some in the psychological, what they call like adverse childhood experiences. And I even had some experiences that are not on the list, like like the war, the deportation. I had an eating disorder, which hated myself. Very dark moments. I was also thinking about ending it all, like how dark life was. And the only reason why I stayed alive certain moments was, well, I would have never done it, but it's like I need to help my family. I was a parented child. Even since
Mhm.
12, I was doing all the paperwork because I spoke German and then later English. And like I need to kind of just set them up, and then who cares? I'll just go away. Like, it was like not being here was a kind of one solution to kind of stop the suffering. There's just a lot of suffering. I also experienced different forms of
Mm.
abuse in my relationship, in my marriage. And that later I found out, oh, I was in an abusive marriage. Oh, there was gaslighting going on. And like there was just some really uh, horrific things that happened. And I stayed in it. So I processed that too. And immediately after I decided to leave in a very kind of peaceful, respectful manner, uh, clients came with similar situations. So it's like I feel like one of my life purposes is to walk the path, overcome it, almost
Literally
get
break free in this
almost
lifetime
get
from
destroyed.
generational.
Yeah. And even with all of that, like I was a champion in kickboxing, Olympic weightlifting, powerlifting, and now I'm a pilot and a skydiver
Yes,
because I love it.
nothing can stop you.
I coach in 3 different languages: German,
And you
English.
are by far the best coach that I've ever worked with when it comes to this field. Like NLP, for me, that's like, I think of you immediately. And to Anthony Robbins, those two people I think of. That's it. Nobody else is
Yeah,
on the list.
yeah, I really appreciate it. So it's there's like also some very, very traumatic things that I've seen, experienced that, just like poof, like you with your bipolar. It's like that you're in a place where you just think like, am I broken? And it's not fixable and there's no
I feel
way out,
completely broken.
right?
I didn't
So
have memory of this person at all. That's what made me scared.
yeah.
Stress forgets you everything good about yourself, and it just puts you in a state of survival. Your story about the past and future changes. That's how bad it is.
Yeah. And you did it yourself with books. I was part of the journey with you. Now again, working together, you had other mentors. You still have other mentors. So it is so important to, one day at a time. Sometimes we regress and then progress. Speaking of progression, let's do
That was the
let's do,
fourth memory, play.
yeah. So that's the fourth one. Give me another one that feels like think of a time, and it could be just a few seconds of a moment of peace, a moment of when you got a download for something, a moment of when you feel wise, intelligent. It could be your coaching business relating as a dating coach. It could be work related to you as an engineer. It could be with previous sales. Like just think of a time.
But funny thing, what comes to me as a fifth memory is a moment I married my husband, which is I didn't expect that.
Mhm.
I just felt such an in profound safety, even though that was so stressful. I was feeling everything else, but not that. But
Yes, if anybody hasn't married yet, married the wedding day is not chill.
no, no.
It's a very stressful day. But okay, so tell me more. So
I think this is like a subliminal shift in my psyche that I'm talking about right now because I married a man who wants to fully take care of me and who literally rebuild me from my bad dating experiences. He was helping me heal over my ex 9 months of our first relationship. Which man would do that? And he has a very high ego also. So he's not an unsuccessful guy. And I don't know. I just felt like my husband is such a kind person. Of course, he has his own things that I don't know, I just feel so safe with him, and I'm not the easiest person to be with. So when we married, I just felt at home somehow. I felt peace walking down the aisle, even though everything else was stressful and I didn't enjoy that day fully. But somehow that moment is like a moment of obviously a big accomplishment and peace for me. And after that, like that's the reason why I made such a big investments actually this year. It was my husband subconsciously. I can be here and I'm just like I don't want to give him the credit, but I pay no pennies to where I'm living. I feel completely psychologically safe. In sex, he never, for example, came inside of me just because he felt like never. He's just so careful with how he protects my psychological mental health. And it just gives me peace. I just realized that. It's like one of my anchors. And
beautiful.
I didn't trust men for so long. So he's just proving everything opposite. Like he just sent to my life to prove me everything opposite. And people love him. Genuinely, he doesn't even hang around them so much. So there's more evidence around me too.
Very powerful.
Yeah.
Very and
For some reason, there is a part of me who doesn't want to give him the credit. Like there is
okay.
still that part of me,
Okay.
like, prove yourself more to me because I don't trust you yet that much, which is good. I know that Elena Cardone spoke about that. She for 3 or 4 years, she was like, I don't still trust you, Grant Cardone. And then she realized it's a good man, doesn't cheat, does the good
Yeah,
things. Why am I so resistant? And then she kind of leaned in. And that's what I also talk about. Love has to grow with years. It has
for
to be
sure.
bigger with years.
And
It's
also we
better
can
than it's
work.
right now skeptical.
Yes. Yes. And we can work with that part, which obviously is very wise. Like that doesn't want to give the credit. Because
Mm,
what if there's a midway where it's still observing the
hmm.
consistency of trust? You went through already a lot of things together, and that it's okay to give him the credit. Like what if both can coexist?
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
not, and even the word of giving him the credit, it sounds like that you give like him the credit. It's very absolute, rather than it was a partnership. You
Yeah.
showed up, he showed up, you can give him the credit to be part of the partnership of the marriage.
Yeah.
So that's
Funny thing how no memories came with my grandma. She was my safest place. Now that's like something that maybe we can add as a addition to number 5, because the last thing that comes to my mind is like I wanted to be in a marriage that feels like my home, literally in Croatia. My grandma was the only person in my family who grew with me. She was growing with me psychologically and mentally, and was literally growing as a parent with me. Only person. My mom and dad are super slow when it comes to that, but she could click. Whenever I would come from psychologist and give some suggestion, she would change it forever. Like
wow.
that's rare. That's rare. And she was at that time 85. So you could say like, oh, this person is like, no, she had such a huge respect. And I wanted a marriage and a relationship that feels like that, because my grandma never took advantage of something. And if she did, it was innocently because of some smaller trauma that she had. So I cannot take that bad.
And that feeling of safety and home, right, came up.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes. I could
absolutely.
always like somebody could treat me so bad at work, but my grandma would tell me like, you know what, just quit and come back home. I trust in you. You're gonna find something better. And that is a pressure on her, because that means I'm not going to earn, she's going to provide everything. It never felt like a problem for her, even though she didn't have that much, because our wealth declined. Her salary was 500 euros, so it was barely, and she was paying all the expenses for all the apartments and weekend house, a lot of real estate. So yeah, that's what I wanted to find in my marriage, and I didn't want to settle for anything else. So I was very picky and I
That's
feel like I
important.
have that in my husband. He has that deeper consciousness that is able to change with time, grow with time. Maybe we don't work perfectly right now, but if I bring up a suggestion, he's gonna change permanently to the better of the relationship.
I think as a side note, having that anchor, now that we're today working with anchors, is like this is the standard that I want in my relationship. That's our North Star, right? So I have similar experiences with some people where I feel so loved, so respected, so cherished. And the combination is when I fly a plane or when I skydive, like I get like the biggest smile on my face. Like that's the emotion, that's the standard that I want to have in a love relationship, right?
Yes,
Because as women, sometimes, like I said, like we sometimes, men and women, just date to have somebody, because we are human beings.
yeah,
We want to be hugged, we want to be having a life to someone to share with, and then we tolerate stuff because we are not clear of the standards, and if we are we constantly holding on to them, especially when we have a lot of time in a relationship, and it's the sunk cost bias, where people that are gambling, like if they've already put in a lot of money in, it's like the more you put in, you can't walk away. Like that's why people postpone divorcing or stopping a business relationship or getting out of something that is killing their soul. So that is such an important, just anybody watching this, if we put it online, is have that standard. Like this is what I want to feel.
feel exactly, and that's priority over the face and everything else.
Everything, right?
Yeah. And then the face and everything else and the body and the character needs to fit into that, and it can.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, we can use these 6 memories. And we have the move where you have your hand on your heart, left hand on your heart, and there's almost like a little nod that feel like it. You just let me know what feels right,
I
and you'll
love that.
see, and you'll see as we move
Like, yes,
forward.
yes, yes. I'm even anchoring in more in.
Yeah.
I love that.
Uh, so, and again, your body will also do things as you're kind of like in the state. Which image do you want to choose? Is it this one? Like as a
Yeah,
representational
I love
image
that.
for
I
all of
love
that.
that. I love that because it represents that the current version of my identity cannot even grasp that flying version of it, but it's already there and I'm stepping into it. It's like a quantum jump.
Great. And what is the sound or the word that can represent that?
For
I
the
mean,
sound comes from the words comes yes, yes, yes. I don't know why, like probably that's what also go here. And the sound,
It could be, the sound could be the yes, 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 unless something else comes through.
Yeah, a little bit like I love birds, so we have to have some birds here. You know, like the bird. Ah, this is again from Joe Dispenza meditation. The birds chirping in 5 in the morning. You know that sound. It's complete peace, especially in Split. Like nothing is driving, nothing is happening, and there are those chirping birds. And that's how I recorded my first Joe Dispenza meditations. I didn't have money to buy the meditation, so I took the book from library, recorded it on the back, but I had to do it 5 in the morning because my grandma was sleeping and nobody was speaking in the background, and I just had a microphone from my phone. And so I was living on that version of meditation for the first 1.5 year, and in the background there were like chirping birds because it was 5 in the morning.
Brilliant, brilliant. Let's use that. Yeah. I'll need to look up. There was some studies done with the actual sounds of birds, how healing they are for our central nervous system. So that very, very intuitive as you were, we can call it the dark night of the soul, as you had that
Wow.
period and now you're out of it. And one of the ways to stay out of it and to keep growing is to be in service, which you are,
Mm.
which you are. Um, yeah. All right, let's do this.
I just want to say something. I love yesterday I was looking at your the workshop I bought from Atma, and you mentioned that if the a human being is not on purpose, then the illnesses and all the states happen, and it's so true, and it's so incredible that you mentioned that. That when we are not on our mission, our soul is bringing us problems for a reason, just to step into that mission.
And very often that mission requires bravery, where you feel like it requires such a level of bravery that you almost feel like sick, you want to throw up. Before a sporting competition, um, I actually worked with a male athlete. He was a martial artist, and he would get so nervous he would throw up before a match. And after 1 or 2 sessions, he stopped because it was like, again, like it's how to calm your central nervous system. There's a way out. So yeah, yeah, thank you. Thank you for watching because we both are bilingual, so trilingual. So we're both trilingual. We speak German, English, and Croatian, and the Slav
Yeah.
languages. So we have the move, we have the sound, we have the image,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'll take you now through those 6 memories, and you can stay seated. But
I need
before
to
you do,
put
I
the
want you
recording. This last 10 minutes.
shake it off. Yeah, the actual exercise is shorter. The preparation is the valuable. Let's get things out of you. So,
By the way, would you give me a minute just to jump on a toilet, if that's okay?
if any of you watching need a little break, pause this video and come back. So, there's also a note to all the people, women and men, is like when you need to go to the restroom, go. It's not healthy to kind of keep it. It's actually like physically, it's not healthy. And I know a lot of professional women or women in general, they're just like, I can hold, I can hold, I can hold. It's okay, it's inconvenience. Like, no, excuse me, I'm in a meeting. I need to go to the restroom. That's also a way, like it's so simple, but it's honoring your needs, your physical needs.
Yeah,
So
but we are trained like you're disrespecting the other person. I even had that, and I was like, why am I taking 3, 4 minutes? Oh my God,
yeah,
I don't want to disrespect her. But I had that story right now. That's funny though.
yeah, yeah. So if you get one thing out of this session is allow yourself to go to the restroom, your body will be grateful. So let's create the unlimited move of peace and joy so that you have two. And like I said, I use both very often simultaneously. So I first do one, woohoo, and I do the other one.
So you
Thank you.
anchor both as polarities.
I do.
Beautiful.
I do.
I
You,
love that.
or you can use sometimes.
I'm gonna know how it feels now after we do this.
Now, also before bed, I would only do this.
Ah.
I don't want to fire up my central nervous system before I go to bed. Or sometimes intuitively, I just do the power move. Or I did one of the Tony Robbins online workshops, which I'd like to do probably in person. Like there's one, I kind of like you do this, yes, like he does the yes one. I like that too. So it's But the one that I have has just like so much more personal anchoring. Again, like our physiology, even if we have nothing anchored, like we're going to do now, just doing something like this, or like yes, or like woohoo, or like I told you so, like just that in itself will do better for us than if we are in this.
Than nothing.
Right? Shuts down our frontal cortex. So
I love that. Yes, I'm more than ready.
Beautiful. So close your eyes, take a deep breath in. And I'll guide you through this process because we've done it before. It may feel familiar. So we'll pick always the same move, the same image, and the same words, which are yes, yes, yes. And you hear birds chirping in the background. And the images of your arms open, and your move is your left hand on your heart and nodding into the grounded and peaceful energy. And every memory, I will invite you to be fully there, to see what you've seen, to hear what you've heard, to feel what you felt. And then when the emotions are at the peak, like a 10 out of 10, I'll say like 3, 2, 1, do your move. And you'll do it like when it feels like it is so strong, like, oh, I have get tingles and tears, like then you do your move, you see the image and you say out loud, or you whisper, yes, yes, yes. Okay?
I will do it loud in this case. So if I look at the recording, that I can remember.
Okay, good. Good. So take a deep breath in, close your eyes. And remember the time of the love attacks. Remember the memory and the moment, the picture, the moment you're actually sitting on that wall, looking down on Versailles, your arms out to the side. Remember the feeling of the last minute magic that you created. You wanted to go to the Paris conference, and imagine that you are sitting at that moment. You feel the breeze, feel your hands are open, see what you see, hear what you've heard that moment.
This one.
That's right. Yes, when your arms are out. So specifically remember the Versailles message when you're on the wall, okay? So see what you've seen. You've probably seen the city. You might, if you kind of like in your peripheral vision, you might see your hands on the side. So I want you to see what you've seen at that moment.
I see this beautiful garden of Versailles.
Notice it, like notice if there are any smells. And so right now, imagine that you're fully there. You are feeling the emotions of being there. You know that somebody's taking a picture, capturing this magical moment and manifestation that you created that was quote unquote impossible, but you made it possible in real life. So be in that moment, feel how your arms are out to the side. You might even want to put your hands out to the side just to feel what your muscles, your ligaments feel like. So be there. Feel all the emotions at that moment. Feel what it feels like in your heart, your body, the magic, the love attacks, and you just like you in the scene. You feel what you felt, you hear what you heard, you see what you've seen. Bring the emotions to a 10, up to a 10. Like bring it up, generate it up, make it bigger, make the images even more bright, the green, and the blue sky more blue. And when it's at the peak at 3 and 2 or 1, do your move, hand on your heart, nodding, yes, 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 in the image. And then relax your body. Take a deep breath in and out. Now think of the time, remember the time when you were sitting in the plane and you were on the way to France, to Paris. And imagine sitting in the plane, you were about to fly, you were in Split, and you felt such deep level of gratitude, so much gratitude you could cry. Remember the feeling where you told yourself, I was flying blind, and you're flying above the circumstances, the deep meaning, and see what you saw as you looked out of the window. Feel the feelings of what it's like to sit in the plane, all the emotions flying, about to fly and flying blind. Tell yourself what you told yourself at that moment. And again, make the images brighter and bigger, like you're in it, like you're reliving it, like you're there. Feel all the feelings that you felt at that moment. You did it. flying above, flying your flying blood, a complete gratitude, deep, deep gratitude. It's so strong. It wants to flow throughout your whole body and around, and even more. And then make the emotions even stronger. Make them an 11 out of 10. Bring it up to a peak and a 3, 2, 1. When it's at the peak, do your move, hands on heart, nod. Yes, yes, yes. Birds chirping. And see the image of your arms to the side by side. Same image. And hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Bring it up again, hold it. And then relax. Relax your hand, your body. And now think of the memory as you're walking through your hometown Split. Imagine you're walking Split and you're living your vision. One hand is in a pocket, you look up into the sky, and there was just nothing, no thoughts. And feel the peace, the infinite, unlimited emotions that you felt, what it feels like to walk your manifestation. Remember the feeling. Feel the feelings as if you're there. See what you've seen. All the elements make it all bright and right in front of you and all around you. See what you've seen, hear what you've heard. And it might just be nothing. It might just be silence. And then bring the feelings up to a 9 out of 10, a 10 out of 10, and at the peak, a 3, 2, 1. Feel the feelings as you're walking. You might feel a hand in your pocket, and then make your move. Hands on heart. Yes, yes, yes. Bird shaping image of Versailles. Arms to the side. Bring it up, bring it up, bring it up. Hold it, hold it, hold it. That's right. And then just relax. And now think of the time, remember the time where you had a big win with a difficult client. Remember how you, at the end, when you were able to say, like, I did it. It feels like a big win. It was scary. I prepared for it. And students messaged me later, Marija, how did you do that? And you're like, I don't know how I did it, but you were able to postpone gratification. And that's what you're teaching others. And it almost felt like this moment in the plane, like you did something genius came through you. So remember that big win. Feel what you felt. You might remember the messages, the emails that are coming through. Marija, how did you do that? The energy shifted. You stood in your power, even yourself, like, wow, I clapped her well, but very respectfully and with facts, with truth. And I kept this community sacred. So feel the feeling, see what you've seen, hear what you've heard, what you told yourself, feel what you felt, and then bring it up to a 9 out of 10, a 10 out of 10, and 11. Feel the big win, feel the moment, feel those moments of like, I did it. And people ask me, how did I do that? And I ask myself, like, how did I do that? And at the peak, at 3, 2, 1, do you move? See the image with your arms out and say, yes, 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 with hearing birds in the background.
Yes, yes, yes.
And relax. And now think of a time when you married your husband, the moment you were walking down the aisle. And remember what you've seen, felt, and heard. Remember the feeling safe, almost like there was a subliminal shift in the psyche that happened. You married somebody who wants to build you, a kind person, and you just feel so safe with him, feeling at home, at peace as you walk down the aisle. See what you've seen, hear what you've heard in that moment, what you told yourself. Feel all the feelings, the moment of the big accomplishment this year. How he protects your health, your mental health. He gives you peace. You feel the peace, feeling at home. Feel all the feelings as you're walking down the aisle. As you're walking down the aisle. And notice what you see, hear, feel. Make it vibrant, make it real, make it more real than it was there. You see all the details, the colors, what's the sky looking like? feel the feelings, hear the sounds, and then bring it up to a 10 out of 10. Bring it to a peak and a 3 and 2 and 1. Whenever you're ready, at the peak of feeling safe and peaceful, make your move. See the image with your arms out to the side and do your sound.
Yes, yes, yes.
Whenever you're ready, relax. And now remember your grandma, the only place who felt like home and safe. The moment where she would change with you. And also the moments where you say, like, that's how I want to feel in my marriage. That's the standard. I never want to settle. And even hearing her say, I trust in you. You'll find something better. If it doesn't work out, I'm here for you. Just that feel the feeling of seven. You might want to remember a specific memory, that feeling of home, feeling safe, hearing her say that, and be there like you are reliving it. See what you've seen. You've probably in your apartment, in your home. Feel what you felt hearing the sounds of home and safety. Notice where in your body you feel it. And also you might notice the scent in the home, in the presence. And when you feel the deepest level of home and safety, a 10 out of 10, a 3, 2, 1, or whenever you're ready, do your move, say your words, see the image.
Yes, yes, yes.
And then gently relax. And when you're ready, open your eyes.
Beautiful.
How do you feel now? Any insights?
I just feel total peace. By the way, I will never forget that. When I used to work these sessions with you, these 10 sessions, I would always feel this kind of peace after we finished. And at that time, peace was not the state I ever felt. And that's what I will never forget. That was anchoring the peace back to me back then.
Thank you for trusting me.
Yeah, and I was so afraid that like you cannot handle such a big trauma, but you had this extraordinary attitude of like, I trust myself, and it worked. You showed me that my case is not impossible to solve. And that was meaningful for me because I thought it's impossible. You handled me with so much ease and grace. I don't think you're fully aware what you did for me then. That's why I talk so often about it. I didn't feel peace at that time. I was suicidal all the time. But after every of those 10 sessions, it was complete blank in my head. Like total peace, emotional and mental. And it would last for after 3-4 hours after the sessions. And it was anchoring back that peaceful state. So thank you so much for what you do. I think you're also operated by a higher power. Like you're too humble for what you actually do. Like being really guided.
we are, and what you also said earlier, everything you went through, everything I went through, I 100% knew I could help you. It would take time.
But it only took 10 hours. That looks like I was at that time going for 2 years at my psychologist, but she didn't offer such a big vision. She couldn't. I love her. She was there for me, and she definitely did a great job. But in 10 sessions, something like that, I didn't think it was possible, but you did. 10 sessions is nothing. I was in that state for 2.5 years. It's like 10 hours. VS, how many hours in the day? 24 hours, 30 days, 2.5 years. That's, I don't know, I don't know how much, 600, 800 days. 10 hours vs 800 days of suffering.
I feel deep, deep, deep gratitude and honor in my heart. And even what we went through, that's why I was so sure I can help you, because I went multiple times through hell and back. It's like, oh, hi, here we are again.
But you make it look easy. That's your gift. You make it look so fucking easy that it's very hard to believe you went through these things when you work with you. You have this vibe of like, come on, like you've just always been successful. That's what's fascinating about your vibration. And you do achieve that through your tools. And you show the world it's like through that tools. You always do these tools yourself.
I do. Yeah, I do the tools. And also I feel there's also greater intelligence guiding me through all of this, even in the hardest moments. And also realizing that we are not alone. But let me ask you this. I would like you to now just do your move. Say yes, 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 see the image. Just because I could stay with you forever,
Yes,
but
yes,
we're coming close to a completion of our session. So I want you to just do that. Yes, 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 see the image and tell me how you feel.
Like a complete profound peace and heart coherence. I know how heart coherence feels like out of us hours of meditation, but it's beautiful.
And it's again like remembering that you and I, we both meditate daily. We both love the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza, which are meditations from 20, 30 minutes to an hour, hour and 15. It's that consistency. Now you have the additional move. See what it works like. You can use it as combination intuitively, and you can even use it now in meetings. So when you feel like something is difficult coming up, and if it took you 5 days to rest, like in the middle of the meeting or before, if you kind of sense like, okay, this could be a challenging client or meeting or business partner, whatever, do this. Yes, 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 see the image, sit with it. And then of course the power of like, what is it that I want? What are the intentions? And then go into the meeting. But also in the middle of the meeting, like it's perfectly, I'm happy you chose that move versus like this one.
Yeah, because this
it would be
looks
weird
like
to do this in the middle of
yeah,
meeting.
I'm compassionate with her, like, yeah, but I'm actually doing my anchor.
Exactly. And so it's like a win-win-win. When you're operating well, you again, like you serve. So I look forward to hearing how things go with that added tool in your toolbox. And also
I'm
what a
just
joy working with you.
excited. It's always a pleasure to work with you. I just cannot even put it into the words. So
Thank you.
I'm just so grateful. You remind me of the unlimited whenever I see you. So that just anchors me back into my mission also. So thank you so much.
My honor.
Yes.